All right, it is Kneecap Biting with Smokin' Jeremy B. I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Biting by Jeremy Smokin.
All right, and how's everybody doing? I got a few comments to get to before we get into the comment. I got to get these comments in before we get into the show. Showing up late, Smokin' Jeremy B. Yeah, I had to get a couple people in here last minute. Crazy Ken, my dad, says looks like it. DC8091 says 5 Rich. Brian Roy says hi guys. Richard Head says DC, how's it going? And DC replies, pretty good, stayed in tonight. That being said, let's get into it. Now, bad fields are taking players out, and it's not just in New Jersey, but Arizona too. We had 2 key injuries to the Ravens over the past weekend in New Jersey, and then we had 3 key injuries to the Chiefs that are playing in Arizona. Harrison Butker, I can't remember the O-lineman's name, and also they lost Trent McDuffie for the season, and that's a huge blow because that rookie was playing well for him. What do you guys think about these bad field conditions causing problems with the injuries? Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah, like you named just a couple of players. We lost Juwan James out for the year, ACL tear. Like we were talking before the show, he was Ronnie Stanley's replacement because Ronnie Stanley is slowly coming back to the team. And then I was at the game last minute, in the fourth quarter. It was an offensive push off. They called the flag, and then Kyle Fuller got hurt. I'm not sure how long he's out for, but
out for the season.
Out for the season. Yep, out for the season. Another detrimental loss to the team. And those steals are just terrible. It's turf. I believe it's turf. It's dangerous. I didn't really watch the Arizona Cardinals game. I can't really speak much on that, but I noticed the game from what I saw. Plus it was raining too. It was raining hard on and off, so the turf was kind of destroyed from the rain. But other than that, detrimental key blows to our team. And you just gotta stay healthy as much as you can.
Absolutely, Andrew. What do you think of it?
Well, I think it's a problem that the NFL needs to address. We see these bad fields going on, and it's making players that, hurt teams, and it's becoming a bad thing. It's been going on forever, and it needs to be addressed, and the NFL seems to not want to address it. It's a problem, and they need to address it. It's something that they need to go over in the owners' meeting.
I agree. Dan Leonard, I know how you feel about this subject because your team plays on one of the fields that has been notorious the last 3 years for taking people out. Give me your input.
Okay, well, first off, the Arizona field, it's not the same shit that the Giants have there. They actually have real grass. Their freaking whole thing actually comes out of the stadium into the parking lot to get sun. So there's real grass. It's badly maintained. The Giants one is that shit turf with bad drainage there. End of the day, I feel the NFL should have a group kind of like the officials, but that all they're responsible to do is take care of the field, not leave it up to individual people, have one set standard for everything.
That being said, I got a few more comments before we get to the next subject. I got a hey JB. Swift is also down, which I'll address that because DNP is did not participate in practice. It does not mean out until he's listed out for the game. He's not out. That's the same with the lineman. All of that. Just breathe, just like last week. Wait till the hour before the game and just breathe. It's did not participate. It does not mean out. Hi, Smokin Jeremy. How's it going? Go Lions. He goes, I'm more concerned with the NFL addressing bad officiating than Fields. Yes, I agree because I brought this up in a chat that I'm in with Jordan there because he's from the Sports Empire Network, in which I may be doing editorials about the Lions for them. So therefore, I want to say when it comes to that stuff, bad calls happen to every team. It seems like it happens to the Lions a lot, but it happens to every team. 2019, I checked out after that Green Bay game with the bad hands to the face calls against Flowers and all of that crap that happened. But what I did do is I recorded every NFL game, and all I watched was the last two quarters. Through 258 games in the 2019 season, there was 161 bad or non-calls in the last 2 minutes of games that decided games for the teams that they did or did not go against. That is a travesty. I still think they need to make NFL refs full-time employees and hold them at a higher standard like the NBA does. If you're not at least 85% accurate, you do not ref the next week. Period. End of story. And I think that's a great way to handle it. And also start hiring younger refs, ones that can keep up with the game. I heard some of our offensive linemen, there is nobody ruled out for the game yet. It did not participate. Once again, that's way different than out. We saw that last week with Ragnow. Oh my God, he didn't participate. He's not going to play. He played. He did okay. And DC8091 says agreed to Richard. DC901, bad calls happen to the teams the refs bet against. They are just mall cops. Well, they got to get their bonus somehow, seeing how they don't get a full-time paycheck. They're paid like part-time employees, and I think that's a travesty if you want to actually improve the quality of the game.
Yeah, Richard, he brings up a good point about focusing on officiating and then focusing on the fields. I mean, at that game I went to, the Ravens game, the refs made some non-calls too, but that's all across the league, all across the board. But Richard does make a good point of how the NFL should focus more on officiating, like you said, Smokin Jeremy, hire young, even women refs. I mean, to get that, that
the women ones have been doing great that I've watched. They don't miss shit. They don't miss shit. I sat there, I said, man, you catch one of them on a bad day, you do something stupid, they're going to catch you.
Exactly. That's facts.
Dan, you there?
He's muted, I think.
Yeah. That guy's being dumb again. I was running a speed test on it right now.
Okay. That being said, Andrew, what do you think about my thing about bad officiating? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious the NFL needs to hold the referees accountable. I mean, when teams lose to bad officiating, now granted, we have also said that we can't put the game in the refs' hands. But
absolutely.
But we can't basically, we got to still hold the referees accountable because they can't get away with robbery. And that's what that is robbery. It robs the fans of enjoying the game. It robs the NFL of making money, and it loses fans from wanting to continue watching the games.
Right. And Joseph Host asked, Jeremy, did we sign an LB? This is kind of an NFL show. I'm trying to stay away from going all Lions. I'm trying to cover the whole NFL. But that being said, all we did was clear up another $2 million. We got 4.5 in cap. Maybe they plan on rolling it over because they haven't signed anyone yet.
Well, we signed the offensive lineman today.
Well, yeah, but he's assigned to the practice squad. He's probably not against the top 51 that counts against the cap. So that's a huge whatever.
So,
It probably doesn't count yet, until we know the details of the signing, which it always takes 2 days to 3 days before they update it on Sport Track or Over the Cap on where he fits in the lineup. If he's under the top 51, it doesn't count against the cap.
Okay, gotcha.
That being said, I'm going to move on to the next subject real quick. There was a lot of surprising upsets. Let's talk about the Colts, the Broncos, the Titans, and the 49ers. I mean, the Colts getting a tie, you could almost say that makes it a 9-7 because nobody won or lost, but because we don't pick against the spread. But I mean, for me, I went 9-7 instead of 8-8. But I'm going to say I went 8-8 because that's the proper way to do it. No one won or lost that game, so you can't say the Colts won. You can't say the Texans won. You know what they got? They got a half a game. Mm-hmm. So as far as against the spread, they already got their half a game covered. What did you think about those upsets there, Jordan?
Yeah, like you said, like pre-show. I mean, a lot of upsets. The first game we were talking about the Colts and Texans. I mean, Matt Ryan threw for 352 yards, but he only had a passer rating or QB rating of 83.1. Jonathan Taylor had 31 carries for 161 yards. Texans, on the other hand, I did not know their QB coming to the game, So I mean,
Davis Mills.
That's why I thought they weren't gonna win because they didn't really have no after the Watson trade.
He was the second most accurate rookie passer last year.
Okay, yeah, he threw for 240 yards and he had a rating of 98.9. I mean, I know
that's solid.
That's solid. Yeah, for that. I mean, I'm not sure. Do y'all game by game? Do y'all look at the ratings game by game, or do you look at that towards the end of the year?
I kind of more look at it towards the end of the year because then you see where those guys are at. I mean, he had a good game, and he had a few good games for the Texans last year, which is one of the reasons why they picked after us.
He threw for 2 touchdowns, one touchdown for Matt Ryan. So it's kind of a back and forth game, but I'm surprised they went. I think it's the first game in week 1 to go in overtime, but I think I gotta do my research. I think the Cardinals and Lions did it a couple years ago, right? That tie. I'm not sure if that was week 1 though.
Yeah, that was week 1. That right off the rip because we were up 28-3 and had them come back and tie it with us.
That was wild, yeah, but that was a crazy game. A lot of back and forth plays in that game. So yeah, like you said, each person or each team covered their spread. They're both basically. I mean, they're 0-1. So
yeah, and they're leading. The crazy thing is the Texans and Colts are leading the division because the Titans kind of screwed the pooch against Dan Leonard's Giants. The Ravens did well against the Jets, as everybody thought. They manhandled them defensively.
Yeah, a lot of my friends are like, so what? It's against the Jets defense. Okay, well, would you want us to lose by 2 or win by 2 or lose by 20 or win by 20? I mean, would you rather be in a close game with the Jets or destroy them? I don't know. I have Lamar Jackson haters, like a lot of my friends. So they're like, so what? You play against a subpar defense. I'm like, the win's a win.
And Brian Roy says, it takes bad officiating in a Lions game to change a decision in future games, it seems, like the one in Chicago. Was it a catch? It's funny that you say that because in that same season, it was towards the end of the year, Randall Cobb caught a touchdown pass in the snow in Green Bay. He lays down, he lays the ball on the ground while he's laying on the ground and makes a snow angel, gets up. He didn't complete the process according to the Calvin Johnson rule. Therefore, that should not have been a touchdown that won them a game. And my dad asked, what happened to the 49ers? I'm going to say it as plain as I can, Trey Lance. That is why they re-signed Jimmy G to that 1-year restructured contract and didn't trade him, didn't cut him, is because they don't trust him yet. And DC8091 says Baltimore strong. He lives in Baltimore. but he is a Lions fan as well. Joseph O. See the rookie wide receiver from Penn State in Washington looks good. Yep. He did. Jahar Dotson did look good. Victor Lester says, what's up, JB? Not much, Victor. How's things down in New Orleans? And yes, he's a Lions fan in New Orleans. And Brian Roy says he agrees. Andrew, what did you think about all those upsets?
Well, I mean, the 49ers game, I had a feeling the 49ers would lose once when I saw that their tight end was not going to play. Because that's the 49ers go-to, guy on the offense. I mean, when you think about the offense, you immediately think Kittle. They go to Kittle most of the time. And so he wasn't playing. So I was thinking, okay, this could be an upset because now the 49ers are without their go-to weapon. So I was thinking, okay, the Bears are going to be hungry because everybody is doubting them. Nobody thinks they have a chance to win. The Niners have a rookie quarterback that has no NFL play experience. And it showed in the game, and give all of the credit to the Bears. It was a sloppy game in that crappy weather, but they won the game, and it took them until the third quarter to win it.
And again, I think that field condition had a play in Elijah Mitchell getting hurt again.
I think I have him in one of my fantasy leagues too.
I won despite having Trey Lance on my fantasy roster.
Oh, I wasn't drafting him. I wasn't going to take that chance.
Well, I auto drafted because I was in a show and I couldn't get to the draft fast enough.
Oh, okay.
It was his first as a full starter, but yes, Zaqua, Trey Lance played in a couple games last year. Yes, I know, and it actually wasn't his first NFL game, but it was his first one in those type of conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to the Titans? Just what happened to the Titans? I mean, other than Saquon Barkley ran all over him roughshot.
The Titans were, I mean, like in my other show with my boys, we were talking about how like this year, since Henry is like, coming back from an injury, and like he's really like the piston to that offense because what I'm saying, and they're gonna be using him a lot this season, and like I don't know, like I mean he had a good game, but imagine. So I'm in Jersey, so imagine if the Giants didn't get that 2-point conversion, the media would be all over the Giants. The media would be all over the Giants. But yeah, I mean, Barkley had the better game. Now that play was a little risky because it wasn't really at the goal line. It's like 3 at the third yard,
3 or 4 yards out. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, because of his big quads, he probably pushing that D line real easy, he pushed him like
the other thing is that game was away, which is why Barkley stayed healthy through the whole game.
Right, and the turf was nice, yeah.
Just saying. DC8091 says to Victor, how is anyone ever sober in NOLA? And Crazy Ken answered back, who said they are ever sober? LOL.
I like that back and forth in the comments.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like that the Titans were playing protect the lead a little bit on defense. Doesn't that also have a play in it too?
Well, yeah, the prevent yourself from winning defense does hurt a lot of teams, as we saw last year versus the Ravens. Sack on second down, sack on third down, have them at 3rd and 19 after wasn't it a false start?
Mm-hmm.
And then on 4th and 19, lo and behold, they convert it. And DC8091 says, fair enough, Smokin' Dad.
DC, man, you're a funny man. You're a hilarious brother.
Oh, I love that.
But he's from Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Big trust, baby.
That being said, we're going to get into the fun part of the show. Who's ready to do the pick'ems?
Always.
Let's go.
All right, I'm going to get to the sheet of integrity because I have my picks already on there. I'm going to start with Andrew, then go Jordan. Game 1 is LA Chargers at Kansas City. Now, don't forget, I did just talk about the whole thing about an offensive lineman, their starting rookie corner, and their kicker is out for this game. Who you got, Andrew?
Oh boy.
Your
That's
sheet
a
of
tough one.
integrity is in front of me.
I know. I know I picked the Chiefs, but I'm thinking if I should change my pick or not, because that could be a big factor. So, but I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes either. So I'm gonna keep my pick. I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. Jordan, who do you got?
I got damn. So ESPN, they are KC the 4-point favorite.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna go to the Chiefs because it's Mahomes. Like you said, their O line's kind of messed up and they got their McDuffies out. But I have faith in Mahomes. Not knocking off anything off of Herbert, but it's just Mahomes. He's been there, done that. Been in that situation. So I have faith in Mahomes. So I'm going KC on that one.
Well, because even though Keenan Allen went down in game 1, Justin Herbert completed passes to 9 different receiving targets in that game after Keenan Allen went down to win against the Raiders. And that's supposed to be a good defense too. So therefore, I think the Chargers are going to pull off the upset in Arrowhead. They've done it before with Herbert.
It wouldn't be an upset, though, in my opinion. Nobody would be shocked.
Wait, it's still an upset because of how the points go.
True.
So Chargers are my pick. Next up, we got New York Jets at Cleveland. And judging by what I saw Sunday versus the Ravens, and they still don't have Zach Wilson, man, I got to go Cleveland. Jordan?
I think we're all going Cleveland on this one. Cleveland especially. Yep. I mean, I hate it because they're in my division. That's an easy dub for the Jets. For the Browns, I mean.
All right, I'm about to get to the comments here. DC 8091 says, live in Baltimore, born in Detroit. That's why he loves both teams. Victor Lester says KC. Ken Balrick says Chiefs. Will Swift play more than 13 games this year? If he does, he easily gets 100 yards. That's dependent on if he keeps up the same production. You got to remember every week something different may happen. But the fact we're at home, half that D-line for Washington is out with Chase Young, and they lost Pradarian Mathis for the season as well. And I heard one of the other guys is hurt. So that might be a key for Detroit on that D-line. That's the best part of their defense. The rest of it is kind of meh.
Jeremy, I wanted to note this. The Lions did bring that offensive lineman we signed today to the 53-man roster.
Yeah, because I think he's a tackle, right?
Guard.
Okay. Who knows? I mean, Logan Stenberg did get a low rating, but he actually did well after he had the back-to-back false starts to start the game. And even Penei Sewell was laughing about it because it was funny because it was just first NFL start jitters for a guy that hasn't played in an actual regular season game. DC 8091, the Chiefs safety is a hell of a kicker. And then DC says, Herbert in charge all the way, else my fantasy team is fucked. Ken Balrick says the Browns. Brian Roy says the Browns. Now we're up to our favorite team to talk about. They're facing off. It's Washington versus Detroit. Who do you got, Andrew?
Detroit.
I kind of figured you'd say that. Jordan, what do you think about this game? Because it is in Detroit again.
Big deal.
Yeah. Let me go back to the week 1 and see what Wentz did. So Wentz, he had they meet for 313 yards, had a passer rating of 101. I'm about to go with the Commanders, man.
You're rude. Come on, a
Wow.
Detroit-based podcast
Shoot.
and pick the enemy. Okay, yeah,
Man.
that's good. That's
Hey,
good. I like
but,
it.
I mean, but like I said, I mean, it could be a close game because, like I said in the pre-show, like when you were talking, like Detroit may not win a lot of games, but they'll be in the battle the whole game.
I think they're winning more than they did last year.
Oh, for sure.
I
But
think they
this
should.
one, I don't know.
This is one of those teams where they're kind of improved, but they're kind of not. They didn't address a lot of their needs this offseason. So that being said, I'm going to go Lions, and I think it's a double-digit win.
I mean, if Carson Wentz throws for 313 yards for 4 touchdowns.
Wait,
I mean,
he was throwing against the Jags secondary.
That's true.
The Jags secondary doesn't show up to Week 18 when they play the Colts again. I'm not wrong.
Definitely not. But I mean, if Carson Wentz can sling it this game, I mean, I think it's
No, he had this good week. It's going to be just like it was with the Colts. He'd have the one good week, and then he had his PTSD week.
He said, "Call him the
This is going to be
Redskins."
his PTSD week.
DC, you're funny as hell.
Lions. And, okay, the Foreskins.
Hey, Jamie, what's the
Throw it down the
Commander
field.
song?
Oh, God. It was so funny. I haven't heard it yet because I didn't watch the game because I was watching our game, but I heard that their touchdown chant is, "We are Commanders." Bum, 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 bum. And DC 8091, at least call them the effing Redskins.
ESPN has the Detroit at a 1.5 point favorite. So,
and Fox has them at a 2.5 point favorite earlier today. So, but they're picking Detroit, and it's you get 3 points for being at home. Goff kind of didn't have as many yards, but he did have 2 touchdowns and only 1 pick.
Exactly.
Next up is we got Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Jordan, what do you got?
Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Man, that's a hard one because Tom Brady, his old line with Ryan.
But that defense is nasty.
It is nasty, and Buccaneers at a 2.5 point favorite. So I'm about to go with Brady on this one, even though the Saints have had their number in these past couple of years. And Michael Thomas is back. I mean, Kamara's running the ball. They got Cam Jordan on the D line. But yeah, I think Tom Brady win this one.
Oh, DC 809, I love it. My cigar store Indian is named Chief Kirk fucking Cousins. My dad says the Bucks. I also am going the Bucks. I think that defense is nasty enough to hold famous Jameis down. I just got that feeling. Next up, Andrew, Carolina at New York Giants.
I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. I don't trust the Giants enough. I know they upsetted the Titans, but I don't trust the Giants enough.
I don't know how you can trust the Panthers after they lost to the Browns when Baker Mayfield said he was going to F them up. Yeah, he effed up his own defense. But anyways, Jordan, who you got? Oh, you're muted still, buddy.
My fault. I was do that. I got the Panthers in this one, just because the Giants. I don't trust that defense. Even though they got lucky with the 1 point game against the Titans. Panthers kind of. I mean, I'm not. Is Robbie Anderson? Is he hurt? They're running or the wide receiver.
No, he's not.
He's playing. That being said, I'm going Giants. I'm gonna go a Dan Leonard and be a homer for him. And Brian Roy says Carolina. Ken Ballrick goes Panthers. I'm doing my upset. I think the Giants win, and they are actually favored to win.
It wouldn't shock me 100%.
Next up on the slate of games, it's Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Indianapolis put up 20 points. Jacksonville didn't do much against the Commanders, even though they are at home. I think trading away Laviska Shenault and keeping Laquan Treadwell was a big mistake. So I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts too. I'm taking the
Colts. Colts got to get a win this week.
They're a 4-point favorite in ESPN. So yeah, they're.
And Jordan, we are up to your favorite game, the Fins versus the Ravens. Who
DC,
you got?
Where you at? DC 8091. Where you at, brother? We going big trust, baby. But because we are at M&T Bank, I'm gonna be there. That game's gonna be wild, electric. If we from what I've seen at the Jets game, we had Kyle Hamilton, the rookie, playing deep sometimes. Then we had Marcus Williams playing deep. As long as we can contain Reek and keep him we can keep him on the sideline or keep him, and we can have a pretty good game. We are not the Patriots defense. We are the Baltimore Ravens defense. We put a pressure on the quarterbacks, but we will see. We will see. I'm going Baltimore.
Do you really want to be the Patriots defense, though? I mean, the Patriots defense is shapoopoo right now.
Oh, no, I'm saying, yeah, now, brother. That's my point. No one wants to be in the defense right now.
So, who do you got there, Andrew?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I know that the Ravens have Tyreek Hill and he's the cheetah and everything, but I can't bet against Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's just amazing. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
I also am taking the Ravens because their defense is better. Their quarterback's better. I mean, Tua is more of a pocket passer than a scrambler, and he only gets out when he has to. I got Baltimore winning probably kind of easily. I'm going to get to a couple comments. John Robinson says, good evening, Smokin' Jay. Chris Bolin, Crusher, what's up, fellas? Ken Baldrick says Ravens. Brian Roy says Baltimore. And DC says, hell yeah, Baltimore had this. So there's a clean sweep finally on the board. I've been the odd man out on quite a few.
I'm surprised y'all said the Baltimore because I thought Tyreek would be a problem, but I'm surprised everyone's saying Baltimore because I thought people would be saying
it's because of who's throwing him the ball.
Yeah. See, now when I was at the game, Lamar had a kind of a bad first quarter, but he picked it up in the second half, threw a lot of deep balls. The problem was this is my first time I've ever seen Lamar Jackson in person, so he definitely got thicker in the arms. I noticed he wasn't running a lot because he was conserving his feet. But once because there's a lot of empty holes in that pocket where he could have ran the ball. He did run a couple plays. But I was surprised he didn't run as much as people would want him to. But
you know what? He wants that bag, and the only way he's going to get it is to prove he can do it in the pocket as well as run.
Yep, exactly.
He has to improve what he's done with his arm. What he's done with his legs has been amazing. But I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm not going to pull any punches because last year he had a 61% completion percentage and he had 15 picks. That's not good.
Oh yeah. DC, I'll definitely be in contact with you, man.
Yeah, I'll get you his email and send it to you through Messenger there, Jordan.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'm coming up there Sunday morning, bright and early, DC. So I think we're gonna tailgate a little bit, get some crabs or whatever. But yeah, definitely let me know, man, what you're gonna be doing in Baltimore.
All right, next up is the first of the mid-afternoon games. We have the Atlanta Falcons versus the LA Rams. Andrew, what you got?
I don't see how Atlanta wins this game. I think the Rams are going to get back on track. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah, this isn't that easy. I'm going the Rams.
And I'm doing the same. I don't think we have any explanation. I mean, even though Matt Stafford got his 5th cortisone shot this week so he can play, that elbow is bothering him, and it looked pretty evident against the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like he lost some zip. He wasn't hitting the downfield passes as good. And the only guy he could get to catch a ball, because it was the only one getting separation, was Cooper Kupp. Thank God he's on my fantasy team with Josh Allen. That being said, next up is Seattle at San Francisco. Jordan, who you got?
Man, that's a tough one. Who's home? Was it San Francisco?
San Francisco.
I kind of got San Francisco in that one. Depending on who's the quarterback going to be, I think Trey Lance is going to be quarterback. But you know, he looked good in that game. I might go with Seahawks. I'm not sure. This is a toss-up.
Yeah, I know. This is one of my toss-up games. And Andrew, who you got?
I picked the 49ers, but it also depends on the quarterback, because Geno Smith looked really, really good against that Broncos defense. I'm going to pick the Broncos, but
It's not the Broncos.
Oh, not the I'm going to pick
Seattle versus 49ers. And you picked the 49ers on your sheet.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the 49ers, but it may change to Seattle. It may change. But right now, the kill time, I'm going to pick the Niners.
All right. That's in your sheet of integrity. You got to stick with what you said.
Can you?
You see what my dad said there? Jordan, you won't have any problems recognizing DC. Just look for Trace Adkins, LOL.
Oh my God.
That being said, James Burgess says DC 8091. As we say at tailgates, it's always noon somewhere. Yeah, I found that out last week. San Francisco is going to get right. James, I say that anytime. Ken Ballrick says 49ers. I'm going upset special. Seattle wins.
It's a pick'em game. It can go either way.
It really can go either way, because he looked good in his first debut. And we'll see.
Smoking Dad.
Depends on who you trust more.
That's what I'm saying. Yep, that's the question.
Now it's the one I know where the consensus is going to go. We are to Andrew's pick. It's Cincinnati at Dallas.
I am going to go. Oh.
Remember, Burrow threw 4 picks in the first half, but Dak Prescott is out with a broken thumb.
I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. Okay, Jordan?
I hate this call. I think of the Bengals. They get one dub, or they get their first dub of the season.
Yeah.
Just because Dak Prescott's out, and I trust him and Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. I got the Bengals in this one.
I do too. I think it's going to be a rout. Yep. And here we go. We got Chris Bolin saying Bengals. Logan Erickson says Bengals. Brian Roy says Cincy. Ken Ballrick says Bengals. James Burgess, Cincy. No Dak is bad news for Jones and company. Joseph Host says Bengals 27, Cowboys 14. I think you're being generous. They haven't scored a touchdown yet. They're the only team in the NFL who hasn't, and I think that's amazing. But anyway,
I don't think the Cowboys are going to score that many points. I really don't.
I see 9.
I can see that. That's being generous.
With Dak being out, I don't trust Cooper Rush. That's for sure.
What a rush.
Yeah. Next up, we got Houston Texans at Denver. Hopefully, Hackett fixes his play calling. And his clock management. But who you got there, Jordan?
I got Denver. That's easy. I got Denver because Denver is they're not the Colts. They got Russell Wilson at the helm. I trust Russell Wilson. Like I said, Hackett. They could have won that. I mean, I'm not sure if they could have won that game if they went for 4th down, but they would have had a better chance. And that kick, it was on point. I mean, but it just was.
That kick could have made it from 70 yards as high up as it was on the uprights if it was down the middle.
because the camera view of the replay it was centered in the middle, and it was looking straight, and we're to the left a little bit.
I said he banged it like Beckham.
Thinking linebacker. Yeah, but I'm picking the Denver over the Texans.
All right, Andrew.
Oh, this is an easy one. I'm picking Denver. I don't see Denver going 0-2. I think Denver's gonna win this game.
DC 8091 says, "Wait, won't Cap start for Dallas?" All right. I am taking the Broncos too. I believe Russell Wilson and the Broncos get on track. And I think next time Russell Wilson will look at that clock with 37 seconds extra and go, yeah, I'm not coming off the field.
I don't even think it will take that. I think it's going to be over before that.
I thought that was so stupid that they ran 37 seconds off the clock before they hit the timeout. Why didn't they hit the timeout and talk about it right away?
I mean, heck, even Joe Buck, was signaling this. He was like, timeout? He was like...
I muted it because I can't stand his voice.
Oh, I know. His voice is so irritating.
Oh, you just don't know.
Oh, I do.
That being said, next up, we have Arizona at the Raiders. Jordan?
Man, I got the Raiders because I got I'm looking for Adams to have a big game. He's on my fantasy team. And they'll probably, they'll get it together. If the Cardinals are playing.
I laugh when somebody starts rooting on other teams for their fantasy team. I think it's great, but it's funny.
No, it's just the fact that Adams and they got Josh Jacobs. And they got I feel like they were mad they lost to the Chargers, so they're getting that revenge on the Cardinals.
Yeah, Devontae Adams had a hell of a game still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Andrew?
I got the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to bounce back after that game versus the Chargers. I think they're going to get back on track and win. I got the Raiders.
I got the Raiders as well. I just think they're going to run roughshod over them. I like their defense better. I like their quarterback better. And I like their wide receivers better.
Hey, second time.
Third.
We all agree.
Third straight. Yeah, I did talk about that a little bit, Chris Bolin. Remember, last week we had a bunch of players that did not participate midweek, and they all played that in that game, except with the exception of like 2. So I think it's nothing to worry about until an hour and a half, 2 hours before game time. Brian Roy picks Arizona. Ken Ballrick picks the Raiders. And James Burgess says Las Vegas Raiders. The Cards have not been right since the Lions beat them. They haven't. This is true. And if you think about it, the Packers haven't been right either. They haven't won a game since the Lions beat them. And James Burgess says, damn right. Next up, we got Chicago Bears at Green Bay. Ooh, this is a rough game to pick. Andrew, what you got?
Going by the numbers of Aaron Rodgers' record versus the Chicago Bears, and knowing that when you think about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears, you got to go with the Green Bay Packers here. It's only fitting that you pick the Packers because Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears. So sadly, I want both teams to tie, but I don't think Chicago's even going to be in this game. So I'm picking the Packers to win.
Jordan?
Yeah, just like what Andrew said, I think that on ESPN they are a 10-point favorite to beat the Bears.
That's being generous.
That's being, I say probably like 20-point favorites.
40.
But you say 40, I say 50. It's like, but no, but just because Aaron Rodgers is quarterback, I would say that. Obviously, without Adams, it's kind of harder for him to find receivers. But I believe that Aaron Rodgers can pull the receivers together and have their game plan. And like Andrew said, like the record against like Bears is ass. So
I'm not gonna make that mistake as I did last year.
Yeah, me neither.
Yep. I'm going to take the Packers as well. That being said, I think it's going to be double-digit blowout city. The Bears' defense is not as good as the Packers' defense. The Packers. I know.
Oh my God, man.
James Burgess got to take the home field in a battle of two struggling clubs. Christopher Bolin goes Bears.
Wow.
Brian Roy says Chicago. And James Burgess says so Green Bay. DC8091 says the Hackers. Packers 28. Bears 17. And hey, we got our first one. We got our first FGB of the show because just remember FTP because it's not just for sending flowers.
It's also for F Green Bay.
Now, this is the first slate of 2 Monday Night Football games. Both of them will be on Amazon Prime. Too bad they can't both lose. Hey, they could both tie.
Hey, it's actually on ESPN Amazon.
Yeah. Anyways, Monday, September 19th, you have the Tennessee Titans traveling to Buffalo to face the vaunted Bills. Jordan, who you got?
I got the Bills. That's easy. The Bills are on a mission to get to the Super Bowl. They're going to be 2-0. Actually, they're 10-point favorite. That's still generous. I think they're going to go off for like 30. No, not 30. Like maybe like 20 points. Yeah, I got them. Bills beating the Titans.
Okay, Andrew.
I got the Bills as well. The Bills are on a mission. They're gonna get, they're gonna get to 2-0. Titans are a mess right now.
Yep, I have the Bills doing a double-digit blowout. I think they're gonna make them look just like the LA Rams. It's gonna be something like 31-10 or 35-14. Yeah. They're gonna run roughshod over them. They're stopping the run. All you got to do is look at the run defense. They're the number 1 run defense in the NFL. That being said, DC says, hey, if the Illinois wins, the North is ours. We'll take a 9-9 tie, Jeremy, for show. Ken Ballrick says the Bills. James Burgess says Buffalo. They are deadly now. Brian Roy also says the Bills. And then we go to the late Monday Night Football game of the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Which Minnesota are we going to see? The one that's going to be struggling with new play callers, or are we going to see the one that showed up last week against the Packers? That being said, the Eagles have better wide receiving core, better D-line, better O-line than what they faced in the Packers. And that secondary is suspect, so I am going Philadelphia.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Jeremy. Definitely the Eagles. I mean, A.J. Brown went off for the first game this season. Titans do miss him dearly. Big major loss for the Titans. That's why I picked the Bills over the Titans, because like we don't have any receivers. So Eagles, definitely I'm taking that one. It's going to be I think on ESPN they are a 2-point favorite, but that's kind of like
I think that's a slap in the face to the Eagles.
Exactly. I think they're going to be like a 20-point.
Because I don't think that they'll get as good a running game as what the Lions did against them. Because they're going to work on that this week.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Ballrick says Indy Eagles. Brian Roy says Minnesota. Tough game, but I'll take the purple incarnation of Satan. I hate them. I think we're underestimating Minnesota. Eagles blow them out and score them. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think you're going to finally see. I don't know what's up with Devonta Smith, but he could not get open against Okudah, AO. Even Will Harris covered him good. It was crazy. He was the only guy he covered good, though, because A.J. Brown torched Will Harris.
Cut Will Harris.
Oh yeah, I'm on that. As soon as Jerry Jacobs is healthy, I hope we never see him but on special teams.
Yep, I agree.
Or cut. That is the slate of games there. We got
I didn't make
through them
my
all.
pick.
I think we the Steelers,
Minutes.
the Pacers.
Did we miss one? Oh yeah, I did skip it. I thought we did. No.
You skipped my pick too.
Okay,
for the Eagles and the,
okay. Who do you got?
the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning.
Okay, and
I can never pick the Vikings.
We got the New England Patriots at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got?
I got the Pacers, and that's one. I'm not sure who the quarterback situation is, and are they going to go with Trubisky or
they're staying with Trubisky.
Either way, I don't know. I don't care what quarterback they go with. I'm the Ravens fan, like DC. He's a Lions fan, I think, but I'm going with the New England Pacers. They're going against Bill Belichick. I know I hate to say it too. I mean, I don't like either teams, but I mean, Mac Jones or Trubisky.
I know why you're laughing, Jeremy. I know why. You want to tell him?
Matt Patricia is running the offense for New England, and it's been horrible.
I know. But I mean, if there's two quarterbacks, Mac Jones or Trubisky, who you got going with?
Trubisky had better numbers. Mac Jones looked horrible.
What's Matt Patricia?
And which one has the better defense right now? It's Pittsburgh, hands down.
Oh yeah.
Well, JJ Watt's out though.
Doesn't matter. They were missing TJ Watt through part of that game, anyways.
I think it doesn't matter because DJ. I mean, he brings that electrifying side of the ball on the defensive side, and he had the pectoral steering, so it's probably gonna be out like JJ Watt. He had that same injury.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Squealers.
Jeremy, I'm going to agree with you. I'm picking the Steelers. I'm picking the Steelers. I don't trust Matt Patricia. He's ruining the Patriots offense, and it's only week one. What?
+1. Mac Jones looked like the worst QB in the league. Yes, he did. Him and Cooper Rush. I think it's a close race right now. DC8091 says, fuck Pittsburgh. New England Pitt versus Pitt. Gah, ugliness. I'll take Pitt since they live ugly like no one else. That being said, we made it through the pick'ems. The only thing I got left to do is give the shout out to my sponsors. I'm wearing one right now. That's A1 Tire and Auto Repair. 3 locations to serve you in the Tri-City area of Michigan here. I got a location in Coquitlam. We got the location also in Saginaw on Genesee Street. And we also have the one where I work right here on Broadway in Bay City, Michigan. That being said, and the other one I got is Dan Leonard's Mad Lab Custom Creations. And I can show you some of the work he does. He does custom rips, drips, and paint jobs on mini helmets signed by some of your favorite players. This here is a Jay Jetta. You can see the drip pattern on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you can almost see the signature if it wasn't for that damn ring light shining off of it because it's that bright.
DC with the comments, man. I turned down Miss.
I turned down Mrs. Blowjob America. She was from Pittsburgh. Oh, DC, that's a starred comment right there. I love it.
Hey, Jeremy, do you mind if I plug in my podcast too, man?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Shout out your podcast.
Yeah, man. So actually, I got kind of 2. So my own, if I want to follow the JJ Sports Talk Show, that's my own personal podcast show. I was kind of figuring out what days, Tuesdays and Fridays, noon around evening times. Check that out. Want to be a guest. Also, like Jeremy said, I'm on the part of the Sports Empire Network on Tuesday nights. The Big 3 podcast. I got Dylan and my boy Kyle. But if y'all want to follow, support the podcast, man, like and subscribe. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere, man. So.
And the comments have been lit tonight. I love it. DC8090 at DC8091. 5 effing stars, DC. Well, it'd be a guy. LOL. That being said, I've had a blast here with my guests tonight, and I'm going to end my show the way I always do. Just try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts from within you. If you project that, that promotes someone else to do the same thing. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. I apologize that Dan Leonard couldn't be in. He's having some Wi-Fi issues. We had Jordan Jean-Louis. Is that right?
You said it right, man. First try. See, I'm half Haitian, so it's Jean-Louis.
Yeah.
Jean-Louis. But now you said it right, man.
I had conversational French in high school. I'm good.
Yeah.
Andrew Merklinger from San Antonio, Texas. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of guys that didn't make it. Mike Crabtree, Dom DeRubis, and so forth. Y'all better show up next time. Well, until Friday when we do our Lions Man Cave chat, this has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. Have a great day, folks.